It's the top of the hour and you're just in time for the top bulletin in town. Here's what's top on our focus.
Tonight,
badala ya pesa kuingia mifuko ya wachache na kunonesha tumbo zao.
President Kenyatta slams governors and senators on counties' revenue demands.
Kateni mishahara yenu, fanya yale mengine, mupatie county pesa.
Also tonight, Aror Kimwarer Dam scam suspects assets to be frozen.
The issue of following the money, the issue of seizure, and the issue of forfeiting. We have started all of it.
Kenya stands to lose 11 billion shillings in Yatani Dam project.
The progress of works and permanent works which would have been done might be rendered unuseful, and we may have to redo again from square one.
Plus, Ukur Yatani's rise to the National Treasury.
I've never imagined, even alone being a CS Treasury, even serving as a CS in the government of Kenya.
His rise and reaction to the hot seat.
And a cab driver takes the law enforcer into his own hands.
NTV Tonight with Mark Masai and Smriti Vidyarthi.
Thanks for joining us tonight. Our sign language interpreter is David Agondoa. To our top story, and President Uhuru Kenyatta has slammed the governors and senators' demands for more cash, saying the government has no money to give them. The president hit out at governors, saying the counties have nothing to show for the billions given to them in the last 7 years.
And as NTV's Kennedy Muredi reports, the president has once again called on the devolved units to ensure prudent use of finances and end the culture of graft instead of asking for more money.
The president hoped to silence the debate on revenue sharing when he offered his position on the matter.
Tunataka kaunti zetu zifanye kazi, ni kweli. Lakini ukienda uitishe pesa ambaye haipo, itatoka wapi?
According to the president, the counties had little to show for the billions already gobbled up since the onset of devolution, with most of the cash lining the pockets of only a few. He says the counties should live within their means.
Kuna mtu mmoja peke yake anaunda pesa, na huyo ni mtu anaitwa Delaru na anaishi pale Nairobi. Sisi wengine wote ni tutoe jasho ndio tuone pesa.
The governors have kept up the argument that starving them of cash was a threat to devolution and have filed a case at the Supreme Court seeking an interpretation of the matter in line with the Constitution.
Tafadhalini, magavana, tumieni ile mko naye kwanza sawa. Sisi wote tupambane na ufisadi. Badala ya pesa kuingia mifuko ya wachache na kunonesha tumbo zao, fanyinieni wananchi kazi.
Tukiweza kuzuia ufisadi, tunaweza kusave kila mwaka bilioni 800.
Mimi nakuhakikishia tuko na wewe, mambo ni magumu, wezidi kutoa pingu.
The sentiments by President Uhuru Kenyatta coming just a day after the chairperson of the Council of Governors, Wycliffe Oparanya, called on him to intervene in the ongoing stalemate that has seen both houses of parliament table and pass their different division of revenue bills, and also the Council of Governors accusing the national government of plotting to kill devolution.
Kama bunge ama seneti munasema waongezwe pesa, sawa sawa, kateni mishahara yenu, fanya yale mengine, mupatie county pesa. Mimi sina.
The president, who spoke at the burial of former Gatanga MP Peter Kenneth's mom, Rahab Mohoni, called on counties to seal the graft loopholes as he rallied the country behind his resolve to fight deeply entrenched corruption. Kennedy Muredi, NTV.
With more developments on the same, that is revenue to the counties, and what could further sully the already sour relations between the two houses of parliament, the National Assembly approved the revised division of revenue bill, disregarding the Senate's version of the same.
And in what is turning out to be a never-ending vicious cycle, the Senate is now expected to consider the National Assembly's bill and either approve or reject it.
Vincent Oduor reports that the battle lines have been redrawn, even as the Supreme Court urges dialogue.
National Assembly set the stage for yet another round of confrontation with the Senate as it unanimously adopted the revised division of revenue bill allocating 316 billion shillings to the counties.
The Constitution says minimum 15%.
Today, in 310 or 316, we are giving the counties close to 34%. So when you go to court or to go to the Supreme Court and you are accusing us of breaking the law, there is no law that is being broken.
The National Assembly's move now sets off a chain of reaction, retracing a familiar line. The Senate, that has already approved its own version of the bill, allocating 335 billion shillings to the counties, is expected to consider the National Assembly's bill and either approve it or reject it. The National Assembly, it appears, it's getting ready for a contest.
Because as a House, we believe that the Senate has no role in this bill. Mr. Speaker, after the third reading, I request and beseech you take this bill to the President for assent.
The Senate had come down to 327. How come now they have printed another bill with 335? That just shows you a House that is not interested, is not committed to mediation, a House that is just grandstanding.
The Senate had forwarded its version of the bill to the National Assembly, but it was disregarded. In what could likely be an endless cycle, another joint mediation committee with representatives from the National Assembly and the Senate will be formed to try and resolve the stalemate if both houses fail yet again to agree on a figure. The Supreme Court, which is still reluctant to intervene in the matter, and in a case filed by the Council of Governors, urged both houses of Parliament to dialogue by Wednesday. But it appears the Supreme Court will once again have to pronounce itself on the matter as both sides refuse to yield. Vincent Odur, NTV.
Well, meanwhile, the governors chose not to respond to the president on the revenue stalemate that they say has starved them of crucial funds and was a threat to devolution.
Their sentiments were echoed by Devolution Cabinet Secretary Eugene Wamalwa, who led the Council of Governors in a session of introspection on the state of devolution since its birth in 2013.
Here's Bridget Ngano with the details.
It was a somewhat painstaking decision for the governors to not respond to the president and instead peg their hope for more revenue on the Supreme Court's decision. But the stalemate over the division of revenue was a constant feature in their discussion that focused on the future of devolution.
Nataka niseme ya kwamba hii katiba inatiba hata kwa ugonjwa wa malumbano kama hayo. Najua ya kwamba we had one house being the upper house. These are sibling rivalry, these supremacy battles that affect devolution and other matters will be a thing of the past.
The governors who were taking stock of the state of devolution are of the view that 7 years on, the devolved units still remained under the national government's tight grip, this only serving to widen the divisions over revenue sharing.
Inequality between counties remain extreme. And in many cases, the inequality is even worse. Within the same counties, you find within the same counties, there are more wards favored than others.
The governors only half-heartedly admitted that devolution had failed to deliver on its promise to the public.
Going by observations, media reports, and complaints from the citizens, devolution seems to be failing to live to its promise, particularly on the area of accountability.
The counties have been criticized for extravagant spending in non-priority areas, with some of its officials accused of feathering their own nests. The president only echoing calls for more financial accountability in the counties. Bridget Ngano, NTV, Nakuru.
Have sent from the demands for more funds to the possible loss of more taxpayers' money, even as investigations continue into how government officials colluded to defraud the taxpayer of 19 billion shillings in the Aror and Kimwarer Dam scandal, it is now emerging that the country could lose another 11 billion shillings to Italian company CMCD Ravenna, which is at the center of the scam, should it terminate the contract to construct the Yatani Dam in Nakuru County.
Well, Water and Sanitation Cabinet Secretary Simon Chelugui says the government is considering asking the company to subcontract the works. Listen in.
Because we have had hope that on engagement of these people, if we are able to assign the works to maybe a contractor who is able to deliver while retaining the loan, because the moment we lose the loan and the funds, we may have to now look for alternative sources, which may not be easy and ready. And by the time we get the project integrity, the progress of works, and permanent works which would have been done, might be rendered unuseful, and we may have to redo again from square one.
Right, elsewhere, Acting Treasury Cabinet Secretary Yatani assumed office this morning, placing the financing of the Big Four agenda at the top of his entry.
That's right. Yatani has assumed stewardship of the state coffers 5 weeks after the budget statement for the financial year 2019-2020 proposed the designation of 451 billion shillings towards the implementation of the Big Four agenda, accounting for 15% of the budget.
Well, Yatani could also be sent back to the drawing board as far as revenue allocation is concerned, in view of the prolonged stalemate between the National Assembly and the Senate over the division of revenue.
Meanwhile, the Central Bank of Kenya has expressed confidence in the National Treasury's ability to navigate the present transition.
We are going to streamline to make sure that the priority will be given to the presidential legacy projects because it touches the nerve center of the Kenyan citizens.
It's the institution, not the personalities. And I think this is what maybe we need to cross that bridge and realize that actually strengthening institutions is fundamental, and making sure that the institutions have all the resources that they need to execute on their mandate.
Ambassador Ukur Yatani, the president's unlikely pick for the Plum office, took up his new responsibilities, exuding confidence he will deliver, even as he reflects on his unlikely journey to one of the most critical ministries in government.
NTV's Brenda Wanga brings you the details.
The National Treasury, miles away, even figuratively, from Marsabit, the home of the newest holder of the docket. The wall of prestige that tells tales of history, framed with different faces and faces in the country's economic leadership. Ukuru Kanacho Yatani makes his way to his new posting, acknowledging the unlikelihood of his appointment. His path to the Treasury made possible by the hasty and disgraced exit of Henry Rotich that has thrust the Cabinet Secretary for Labour and Social Services onto the hot seat that is stationed at this ministry in acting capacity.
To be honest, I've never imagined, leave alone being a CS Treasury, even serving as a CS in the government of Kenya.
From Forole, Marsabit County, where he was born, to a life in public service that has seen him work in the then provincial administration, then later elected as Member of Parliament, and in 2013 as Governor, the diplomat now holds 2 cabinet portfolios. To him, this is all beyond his wildest dreams.
Knowing where I come from, the humility, I also come from one of the most far away, most difficult parts of this country. Growing up as a young man, of a pastoralist, and going through education, not from the comfort of my family's home, through boarding schools to where I've been, I can only thank God for what He has done for me.
He knows there will be need for readjustments, and he cannot afford to just sit pretty, especially with the heat that the seat brings.
And I have no illusions in my mind that I have to do it, and I have to do it the best of my abilities, so that I don't let down the president and I don't let down Kenyans.
His faith in God and a knack for honesty are what he says he is counting on in his new integrity-demanding assignment. Although it is still uncertain for how long the acting CS will be at the Treasury, he is confident that by the time he leaves, he will have made a positive impact in the management of the country's finances. Brenda Wanga, NTV, Nairobi.
And indeed, all eyes will be on Ukur Yatani. We'll be watching as he performs his duties. Well, at the same time, President Uhuru Kenyatta looked from within the Treasury building for a replacement for Kamau Thuge as the Principal Secretary of the National Treasury.
Dr. Julius Monzi-Muya moves from his previous docket at the State Department of Planning to take up new responsibilities at the heart of the country's purse strings.
Leila Mohammed profiles the finance professional who will do most of the heavy lifting at Treasury.
Dr. Julius Monzi-Muya now moves up into the 14th floor of the Treasury building from the Department of Planning, taking up new responsibilities of fixing the nuts and bolts of the country's economic nerve center. The man who rose to prominence during the former President Kibaki's era hopes to rely on his vast experience spanning 3 decades, taking up a position at the influential ministry at a time there was intense scrutiny on the integrity of public officials.
Specifically to ensure that the budgeting is done correctly and properly and appropriately for the projects that have been identified. And for the time being now, it is a Big Four agenda which has to be given a lot of prominence.
Treasury has been shaken by the allegations of corruption that swept up its upper echelons as he settles down to his new job. This will be top on his agenda.
Making sure that those resources are deployed in the right manner to get value for money so that the citizen in Kenya, the mwananchi in Kenya can see the benefits of the taxes that they pay.
The 59-year-old University of Nairobi School of Business alumnus has previously served as the Chief Operating Officer at HF Group, formerly Housing Finance, Unga Group Limited, Longro Hotels Group, and in many other senior roles. He hopes his extensive experience in leadership prepared him for the crucial docket.
From the side of raising the revenues, because then you need the money so that you can be able to fund those projects and programs.
His first presidential appointment was in 2008 when he was picked to serve as the CEO of the National Economic and Social Council until 2016. The agency has been credited with the country's economic transformation over the past 15 years. He then left to head the Vision 2030 project under the Jubilee government in the same year. Leila Mohammed, NTV.
From the entrails of the new appointees to what is staring at those who've been replaced, and investigations probing the Aurora and Kimwarer Dam scandal have now turned to asset recovery to reclaim the proceeds of the multi-billion shilling scandal, possibly stashed abroad.
Director of Public Prosecutions Nurdin Haji is seeking mutual legal assistance from the United Kingdom and Italy, but is yet to receive information from the 2 jurisdictions.
Melmiendo reports that the ODPP is ready to issue arrest warrants for those who fail to surrender to the DCI by Friday.
Following the arrest of persons suspected to be behind the 19 billion shilling dam scam, the DPP is now looking to repatriate the proceeds of graft stashed in foreign countries and will be banking on the help of his counterparts.
The investigations of the second phase are still ongoing. As I've told you and I told you earlier, we have applied for mutual legal assistance to both Italy and the United Kingdom, and we are working on getting more information on that.
Haji maintains those caught in the web of graft claims should step aside. President Uhuru Kenyatta, in a stop-game measure, only named an interim replacement for Rotich. Only Principal Secretary Kamau Thuge was substantively replaced.
It's a very timely judgment that will help us. This is what I've been pursuing and trying to ensure that those who are charged, who are public officers, once they are charged, they step aside.
Of the 28 persons named by the DPP, only 15 appeared in court on Tuesday. Chief Magistrate Douglas Ogoti directed those absent to present themselves at the DCI headquarters by Friday this week. They include Italian construction company CMC Di Ravenna's director Paolo Pocelli and 2 other representatives of the company.
Those who will not be there on Friday, you know the ruling that was given, that we will be free to now issue arrest warrants.
The DPP was speaking alongside the federal prosecutor of Brazil, who paid him a courtesy call. The Brazilian prosecutor also shared a software for analyzing phone records and accounts during evidence gathering. Prosecutors from the country are also set to undergo training in Brazil. Mel Miendo, NTV.
You're watching NTV Tonight at 16 minutes past the hour. Coming up after the break.
A cab driver goes ham on a police officer. That's coming up.
EACC has recovered assets worth over 11 billion shillings and filed 400 cases in court seeking recovery, seizure and confiscation of unexplained assets worth over 10 billion shillings. Some of the properties recovered are 4.9 acres University of Nairobi land valued at over 2 billion shillings, the Mayor's House in Nairobi, 20 houses in Woodley Estate, Uhuru Gardens, Mombasa, Mombasa High Court land, Karatina Police Station land, Uasin Gishu Hospital, 200 acres of Kalro land, Nakuru, Postal Corporation land in Nakuru worth 780 million shillings, Taifa Park, Kisumu, among others. These properties were returned back to the rightful owners. EACC, tuangamize ufisadi, tuijenge Kenya.
Soil Merchants Property Developers have incredible offers for prime residential and commercial plots in Kiserian town. The properties are touching the newly retarmacked pipeline road connecting Kiserian and Kitengela towns, just 30 minutes from Nairobi CBD. Get an 8-acre plot in a very developed neighborhood for just 1.3 million. The property is beaconed with ready title deeds. Water and electricity are available. Schools, health and recreational facilities are nearby. Welcome to our open day on 27th July 2019. SMS LAND to 21595 for inquiries. Do not miss out on this great investment opportunity. Buy today, build tomorrow.
Every day, history repeats itself. A scientist takes one small step. A genius finds a solution. A record is broken. A legend is born. Every day, history repeats itself here at Wood Creek School. Because we believe every child is a promise of something great. And it's our job to find the greatness within. So we welcome you to our open day on the 3rd and 4th of August from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. at our campus on Committee Road.
Dad has not been feeling well for a long time. He has become so weak, we can't play together.
Why are you refusing to go to the hospital? I told you there is no way you'll know if it is TB or not if you do not go and get tested. If by any chance you find out that you have TB, you'll get the treatment for free from any hospital. All the tests are free. All the medications are free. Are you waiting to infect your family so that you can go to the hospital?
Don't wait till it's too late. TB is preventable, treatable, and curable.
I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them bloom
for me and you.
I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? They really saying, I love you. What a wonderful world.
The Aerial Assurance Challenge.
Asante sana. Sasa, ni nini kingine ambacho unaweza kumfanyia msichana wetu?
Kila kitu. Hata kufua nguo na aerial mpya.
Basi, tuonyeshe.
Hey, sasa fanya haya madoa yawe sugu zaidi. Sasa tufue kwa kutumia sabuni yako na kutumia aerial mpya. Aerial sasa inapatikana kwenye pakiti mpya. Unaniamini sasa? Aerial huondoa madoa sugu kwa mwosho mmoja tu.
Join Telkom today and share life on our expanded 4G network. Telkom, moving with you.
Well?
Thank you so much.
Can I buy a chocolate, please? It's for my mom. Happy birthday, Mom.
Thank you, Bella. There's a class and a half in everyone.
The Wicked Edition.
Shortly after it attained world popularity, after it hit, the Chinese intelligence allegedly used an application with similar technology to reunite a man who was kidnapped 18 years ago. This could mean that in 50 years, Kenyans will discover former President Moi's brother. Yes.
Spray your body. You stay for that color for 3 days, then inatoka.
Hakuna mavitu zingine.
No, I can't, because ningefanya hivyo singeweza kuzaa, by the way. Nothing serious.
That explains so many things.
Yeah.
Ukifanya vitu zingine huwezi get mtoi. So watu wache kublame Otile Brown.
The Wicked Edition.
Soil merchants property developers have incredible offers for prime residential and commercial plots in Kiserian town. Welcome to our open day on 27th July 2019. SMS land to 21595.
Welcome back to NTV Tonight. In a dramatic occurrence in Nairobi this morning, a police officer was caught up in a tussle with a taxi driver as he attempted to enforce the law.
Well, the cab driver appeared to be engaging in a physical duel with the officer who had found his way into his car.
Now, this case, coming just months after another, has reignited the age-old debate on whether an officer has the right to enter your car in case of an offense.
Charity Mwangi has that dramatic tale.
This police officer found himself in need of the very service he is to offer the public: safety. He had been trapped inside a taxi with a defiant driver with a seemingly short fuse and caught up in a push and pull. According to the Langata OCPD Gregory Mutiso, the vehicle registration number KCT 730Q was involved in an accident early Thursday in Lavington. David Kariuki Kamurwa failed to stop even after being prompted by traffic officers. The officer, he says, was trying to bring the suspect to book. DCI has posted on its Twitter page that detectives based in Karen arrested the suspect, 41-year-old David Kariuki Kamurwa, at Gekambura in Kikuyu. The car has been confiscated. Police say that a mobile phone, which had earlier been stolen from the officer, has been recovered.
I have a valid license.
Only 2 months ago, NTV highlighted a similar occurrence in which a driver recorded 2 police officers who had forced their way into his vehicle.
Also, I have showed you the application.
Police spokesman Charles Owino said the officers were in order.
Well, the first thing people must have in mind is that police have those powers to stop, search and detain any person, any vehicle, any aircraft, any vessel, but with different and good reasons. 2, police officers have powers to arrest you without a warrant. You can arrest any person when he commits an offense which is cognizable.
The actual owner of the vehicle has been summoned by the police. The OCPD says they have denied the police information that would help in locating the driver. Motiso says they may confer charges of obstruction of justice against them. Kariuki Kamurwa is now in custody, and it is unclear what charges he will be facing. Charity Mwangi, NTV.
All right, well, from those dramatic pictures to some dramatic numbers now released by research firm Infotrack on betting here in Kenya. Mark had a look at some of those figures.
The betting addiction in Kenya is real. This is according to the latest numbers of research from Infotrack. These are some of the figures that pop out for me. 87% of betting is done through online sport betting, and this is mostly through gadgets such as these, the phones. Another figure that should concern you is that 74% of those who bet are men. Another demographic that should concern you is that of the youth. 70% of those who are betting are aged between 18 and 35 years old. It gets worse because 59% of those who've tried to stop betting have not been successful. Now, it's even worse because 17% of those who lose in betting have considered suicide. It's even become more like a career because 40% of Kenyans who bet do so on a daily basis. These, ladies and gentlemen, are figures we should think about.
Well, startling figures indeed. And meanwhile, President Uhuru Kenyatta has reiterated his call for tax compliance in the gambling industry in Kenya. President Kenyatta says that while these companies make billions of shillings from Kenyans, only a few benefit from the proceeds. The president says that the money collected will be used for infrastructural development in the sports and health industries.
Unajua wengine wamenipiga sana kusema ati hii pesa tulikuwa tunafanya ya kuchukua pesa kutoka hawa ambao wanafanya mambo ya gambling, ati tunafanya makosa na pesa hiyo ile ikagira mifuko ya dwanini. Na ndipo tukasema lazima watu walipe hiyo kodi, na hiyo kodi ndio imetusaidia kuhakikisha ya kwamba timu zetu za mipira zinaweza kwenda na kucheza kulingana na vile inatakikana. Hiyo ndio tutatumia kujenga viwanja vya mipira katika kila kona ya Kenya.
Drama ensued this afternoon in Kisumu after mourners squabbled over the body of a dead woman.
The two groups disagreed on whether the deceased should be buried at the Mamboleo Cemetery or at her estranged husband's home in Gem in Siaya County.
Okukusa witnessed the drama.
Nimetembea na kitabu ya kuchanga pesa ya huyu msichana. Mpaka jana ndio nikaweka kitabu pale Kisoko. Nikimaliza kuchanga pesa.
Outside the Kisumu County Hospital mortuary, tempers are flaring. Two groups of mourners are wrangling over a body. Reason?
Awina alikuwa analianga kila siku kama tunatembea naye tukienda kunywa pombe. Grace, mimi nikikufa nitapelekwa game duty. Mimi ni bibi ya Frank. Mimi naenda duty Grace. Mimi watu wasione mimi nakunywa pombe nje ati mimi sina bwana yangu. Mimi niko na bwana yangu. Alikuwa anasema.
But a section of the mourners led by the deceased's mother could not hear none of that.
Watu wa gemu mahali sana alioleka ndiye anakuja saa hii, wanakuja saa hii hata ni wamama, hakuna hata mwanaume hata moja. Wao ndio wanakuja kuclaim body. Hata bwana ya msichana hako Kibuyu anafanya kazi na ndugu yake. Wako kwa workshop saa hii hata tumemwacha huko akifanya kazi.
Alikuwa hapa asubuhi na ndugu yake. Sasa mama ya msichana akasema atatoa hata nguo baki uchi. Vile walisikia hivyo wakatoka na mbio.
The standoff that lasted for more than an hour attracted a huge crowd of onlookers.
Mwanamke ni mzuri akikufa kama watu hao wanawataka. Unachukua bibi anapeleka kwa pale alioleka. Si ati mama anachukua mtoto anaenda kupeleka kaburini kutupa.
Eventually, the mother's fish carried the day after her daughter's body was released to her by the hospital's authority. Okukusa, NTV.
It is 1:30. Do stay with us as we take a quick break on NTV tonight. The business news with Dan Wangi is coming up.
Children bring joy to our lives, but they grow up so fast. Soon, it's time for college, and by that time, college fees can be a huge expense. For as little as 3,500 Kenya shillings, Educare combines life insurance with savings for college. Download the SE mobile app, open an account and start saving now. Be life ready.
Making my family some nutritious porridge is a painstaking process. First, I have to find all the ingredients needed, and there are many. For vitamins, proteins, and minerals, I need cassava, sorghum, millet. You no longer need to go through all that to make nutritious porridge. All you need is NutriPro.
You don't have to go through the trouble of finding, measuring, and weighing all these vital ingredients. New NutriPro porridge flour comes fortified with 13 vitamins, proteins, and minerals. This means that you have more time to focus on what's important, giving your family the healthy start they deserve. NutriPro, bringing families together. From Tropical Brand.
Who wants to answer? Mary?
Mary has a toothache.
Oh, I see. And who knows why?
Because the tooth is too big.
No, it might be a hole in her tooth called a cavity.
That's why I brush twice a day using Colgate. Imagine this is your tooth and these are food acids that cause cavities. Colgate with calcium and fluoride helps prevent cavities for maximum cavity protection. And now available in a 12-gram sachet for fresh breath. Only 15 shillings.
Why are so many children absent? Children have become weaker. Children have not become weaker. Infection-causing germs have become stronger, making infections more severe. New Lifebuoy with Active Natural protects from today's stronger germs.
Space out your studying. You learn more by studying a little every day instead of waiting to cram at the last minute. By studying every day, the material will stay in your long-term memory.
We believe every child is a promise of something great. We welcome you to our open day on the 3rd and 4th of August from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. at our campus on Committee Road.
Kujimoto hapo na kujipodopodo.
Dakika moja tu na wewe.
Mimi nakwambia hii date mimi nitakutangulia. Mimi niende nikule, wewe utaenda kule baadaye. Utapata nimelipa. Is the thought that counts.
I'm done.
Hiyo makeup, naweza iongeza hivi kachumbari, kafirifiri, naweza ifanyia kakitu juu. Kidogo tu tumayo like. Tuone nikushuo, naweza ongeza kaladha. Haka sasa ndio kachumbari.
Wow. Ulijulia wapi kufanya makeup?
Mambo ni YouTube.
Get 5 GB free YouTube when you buy the all-in-one monthly bundle. Dial *544# to choose your bundle. Mambo on YouTube.
Kenya is on the rise. It is powered by you. You are innovative. You are passionate about the future. At Stima Sacco, we are a reflection of you. We are a stable, financially sound institution providing tailor-made services to add value to your life, time, and money. We are guided by your aspiration. We are Stima Sacco, a true reflection of you.
Crazy without your friends. Drink Fanta. Taste fun.
Discovered the world-famous Molfix and saw the difference. Let's see how absorbent Molfix is.
Molfix, thanks to its ultra-absorbent particles, can keep more liquid than the other diaper brand, so you can use it comfortably all day long.
All babies deserve a high-quality diaper. You should also try Molfix.
The Wicked Edition.
Shortly after it attained world popularity after it hit, the Chinese intelligence allegedly used an application with similar technology to reunite a man who was kidnapped 18 years ago. This could mean that in 50 years, Kenyans will discover former President Moi's brother.
Yes. Spray your body. You stay for that color for 3 days, then inatoka.
Hakuna mavitu zingine.
No, I can't, because ningefanya hivyo singeweza kuzaa, by the way. Nothing serious.
That explains so many things.
Yeah.
Ukifanya vitu zingine huwezi get mtoi. So watu wache kublame Otile Brown.
What you say?
The Wicked Edition.
Soil Merchants Property Developers have incredible offers for prime residential and commercial plots in Kiserian Town. Welcome to our open day on 27th July 2019. SMS LAND to 21595.
Good evening and welcome to NTV Business. My name is Dan Mwangi. Corruption and lack of integrity in elections, which are key setbacks that consistently drag Kenya's socio-economic development, could be significantly reduced through the use of blockchain. That is one of the key issues that came up during the launch of a report by a task force on the emerging digital technologies for Kenya. The 11-member task force was set up in February last year and had up to 6 months to deliver, but has taken 11 months to do the job.
The general election in Kenya is often associated with difficult times for the economy. Adoption of technology, blockchain in particular, has been cited as one of the ways through which the negative impact on the economy could be reduced.
With blockchain, those types of squabbles will no longer be there, simply because the technology distributed ledger means that each political party will technically have the same records that IBC has. So the issue of having parallel tallying centers, whether in the cloud or in Tanzania, wherever, does not arise.
We will know at midnight who has won. I think that will be a very great day. I think the challenge will be now how to get that through the politicians and in describing to them how this is proper.
Blockchain's advantages are primarily increasing efficiency, transparency, and accountability.
If everything becomes digitized, meaning that the ledger that is created here in the ministry and who's been paid, that ledger can be with the EACC, it can be with Kenya Revenue Authority, it can be with all other agencies, so that everything that is paid, multiple people have it. Everything that happens in IFMIS should be seen by the Auditor General, such that the Auditor General doesn't come at the end of the year asking, where did the 8 billion go?
Artificial intelligence, which is the ability of machines to adapt new inputs and perform tasks that require intelligence without additional programming, provides ample room for the exploitation of data analytics, decision-making, and predictive analysis.
The report is out and attention now shifts to whether or not its recommendations will be implemented, to what extent this will be done and how soon, or else it might just be confined to gather dust somewhere physically or digitally. Alex Mwangi, NTV.
Now, are you retired from the public service and are yet to receive your pension? The government is admitting fault in the delays you're experiencing, but says you will be sorted out soon. At least 40,000 retirees from as far back as the year 2014 are yet to receive their pensions, and the Public Service Commission says the Rapid Results Initiative it has launched today will facilitate the smooth transition into retirement as well as prompt payments.
We want to change that by not only clearing the pending backlog, but move further and ensure in the next 1 year that there will be no break in earning for public servants retiring from the service.
Those who retired 1 or 2 years ago, and maybe they have got their pension, if they were to give us a grade between 1 and 10, as we sit here as public servants, what score would they give us? It could be like 2 or 3.
Over the years, the public pensions budget has grown tremendously, rising from 25 billion in the year 2008-2009 financial year to Kenya shillings 86 billion in the financial year 2018-2019. The financial year 2019-20, the pensions expenditure is expected to rise to 104 billion.
Thousands of jobs are set to be created in the manufacturing sector in the next few months as industries built by foreign investors come to completion. Speaking at the commissioning of the Bidco Industrial Park in Roiro, President Uhuru Kenyatta said there has been an increase in the number of investors who want to set up business parks in Kenya, which will go a long way towards increasing the share of manufacturing to the country's GDP under the Big Four agenda, as well as create employment for the jobless youth.
This investment by Bidco Africa Group
Na vile mmesikia Waziri Munya hapa akisema, sio kiwanda hii peke yake. Tuko na zaidi ya viwanda 40 ambaye zimekamilika au ziko karibu kukamilika, viwanda mpya ambazo ni wawekezaji kutoka nchi mbalimbali.
As Eldoret town prepares itself for city status, the county of Uasin Gishu has put together a municipal board to drive the development agenda of the town. The board will take over all aspects of planning and day-to-day operations of the town as it seeks to grow investments into Eldoret. In the last few years, Eldoret has seen an increase in the number of developments in the real estate field, which have not only created employment for the locals, but also positioned the town as an ideal investment destination.
Itahitaji nyinyi mfanye kazi kwa karibu na washikadau wote, wanabiashara, kamati ya County Assembly ambayo inahusika, na pia viongozi ambao wanawakilisha wodi hizi ambazo manispaa hii inakuza.
The Kenya Agricultural Livestock Research Organization, that's KALRO, has inked a deal with equatorial nut processors that is set to boost nut productivity in the country as well as provide market for various crops. The memorandum of understanding will see farmers benefit from KALRO's latest nut technologies, while ENP will procure over 90% of raw materials of produce from the farmers. The crops targeted include soybeans, cashew nuts, macadamia nuts, peanuts, maize and sorghum, which will be processed and value-added into consumer food products.
Some of these value chains which
The collaboration being ratified today is actually a double win for Kenyan farmers. They will not only benefit enormously from KALRO's nuts technologies, but ENP will also procure over 90% of the raw materials of produce from them. These products will be marketed both locally and internationally, especially in the US and Europe, which are very important markets for nuts.
We have come to this point where we can collaborate, and hopefully in months and years to come, we will be able to see soybean being grown because there is a lot of demand. The demand for soybean is quite high.
Safe to say that they are not joking. The Kenya Accountants and Secretaries Examinations Board, that's KASNEB, is working on mechanisms that will enable faster release of results for any examination taken. The board, which is marking 50 years of its existence, is also revising syllabuses, according to the Chief Executive Officer, Nicholas Letting.
KASNEB has undertaken regular reviews of the examination syllabi in line with the changing market environment and national, regional, and global arena. This includes a mid-term review of syllabuses after every 2.5 years and a major review after every 5 years. Indeed, this year we are doing a major syllabus review, and we shall be engaging with all stakeholders who are in the room and those who are outside the room.
Business is done and so am I, but coming up after the break. Not off to such a flying start. French flying man takes a dive. Find out what happened after the break.
Nation FM. More music and less talk. Nairobi 96.3, Mombasa 101.5, Meru 93.9, Nyeri 104.9, Eldoret 102.7, and Nakuru on 97.7. Follow us on social media on Facebook at Nation FM, Instagram at Nation FM, and on Twitter at Nation FM KE. Nation FM. More music and less talk.
You in the pollution? Yes, you. Dry throat? Strepsils. Gal in the smoke with a raspy voice? Strepsils. Hello, in the downpour with a scratchy throat? Take Strepsils. Get soothing relief for any throat irritation. Strepsils with its medicinal ingredients will heal the harm down to your throat from external factors. Strepsils. Strepsils for a dry, itchy, raspy, scratchy throat.
Rough and tough quality textured coating.
gives your walls a tough and beautiful finish. Available in over 6,000 shades, it hides surface imperfections. Call us on 0709 887 000 to place your order. Crown. If you like it, crown it.
Birthday party.
Birthday party. Birthday party.
Birthday party.
Are we not invited?
We have gifts.
Malaria.
Mommy, best.
Run.
Oh, die.
Party.
Compared to an ordinary spray, Mortein Doom Power Guard kills disease-causing pests instantly. Mortein Doom Power Guard.
Every day, history repeats itself. A scientist takes one small step. A genius finds a solution. A record is broken. A legend is born. Every day, history repeats itself here at Wood Creek School. Because we believe every child is a promise of something great. And it's our job to find the greatness within. So we welcome you to our open day on the 3rd and 4th of August from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. at our campus on Committee Road.
Je, maumivu ya kichwa na kukosesha amani? Kaluma Strong hutuliza maumivu ya kichwa, maumivu ya mwili na hata huondoa joto jingi mwilini. Kaluma Strong ina aspirin kama kiungo. Maumivu yakizidi, muone daktari.
John suffers from indigestion. His twin James suffers from heartburn. Sometimes it's the other way around or both. That's why they use Gaviscon Double Action. It soothes within 3 minutes and lasts up to 4 hours. For double relief from heartburn and indigestion, Gaviscon Double Action. If symptoms persist, seek medical advice.
Beat germs with Jik. Kills 99.9% of germs on your kitchen surfaces, sponges, chopping boards, sink and fridge, and your bathroom taps, shower head, basin and surfaces. Just Jik it. Look out for our new improved packaging in store. Just Jik it.
Welcome back. We told you about a daredevil attempt that was being done today. Well, we have an update on that. The flying Frenchman who attempted to cross the English Channel on his flyboard has failed.
Well, not too long after setting off, Frankie Zapata disappeared from view of the naked eye as a helicopter followed closely behind him.
But just minutes later, it was announced that his daredevil attempt had hit a snag. The former jet skiing champion fell into the water halfway across the channel as he tried to land on a boat to refuel.
He missed the boat. He was not injured, but the mission was aborted.
And elsewhere, Tunisia's first freely elected president, Beji Essebsi, has died at the age of 92 at the Tunis Military Hospital.
Essebsi was one of the world's oldest sitting leaders, having been elected at the seasoned age of 87.
He won Tunisia's first free elections in 2014 following the Arab Spring, which saw the ousting of President El Abidine Ben Ali. The NTV on the Road caravan today kicked off its 3-day tour of Mombasa County with a drive through Changamwe, Jomvu, Magongo, Mikindani, Bangladesh, and finally Port Reitz.
The residents had a chance to interact with some of the popular actors and actresses on various shows airing on NTV who were part of the entertaining team.
Several residents were also awarded with various gifts and merchandise courtesy of the Nation Media Group. And the caravan will on Friday tour Kisauni, Kiembeni, Kongowea, Bamburi, Shanzu, and Mtwapa.
Hiyo ni pesa halali. Ukienda pale Tuskys kwa sababu ya NTV na kwa sababu unapenda habari za utendeti na Jen Goiri, basi unazishindia bocha ya shilingi 500. Unasemaje? Asante tubarikiwe. Haya sana, umesema asante tubarikiwe.
All right, well, keep watching NTV and you could be a winner when we visit your neighborhood.
Also keep watching NTV tonight. We're taking a break, but coming up.
It's the sports news. The air up there. Find out what it's all about.
Everyone has a desire. Some desire and talk.
My name is Morebi Bob. I'm a press technician.
I wanted to be a driver like him.
Kwa mzara iko mzuri, unakula vizuri, unaishi vizuri.
But some desire and make it a reality. Desiring is good, but getting the job done is better.
Sooner or later, utaona tu vijana wakikuja kuomba job.
Kuna miaka kama 6 sijalinda na nafanya kazi.
The mortuary has exposed me to the world.
My Job on NTV.
This is going to be a long conversation.
The hard thing to understand is why, if the number of deaths is disputed, then the extent of the situation might also actually be disputed.
These are not stories that are being told by somebody who's not been on the ground.
I have never known of any single time the Kenyan media and the international media came together to tell a lie.
Hatuna kwanza maji na inasemekana ni handshake.
Kwa hiyo serikali ikisema hakuna mambo ya jaa, hiyo hatuelewi sana.
Wacha watu wa media waendelee kumweka deputy president katika headlines.
Is it a surprise? This is the opinion from some Kenyans.
Where there is slants and there is bias, the public will see it.
Is it media taking a position against the DP?
These are questions which the media must wrap its mind around and set agenda for this country.
Yani, unataka tuendelee kuishi kwa hiyo kibanda ulikuwa unaishi ukiwa bado bachelor?
Sasa tunawachana, nataka tu tunafanya kitu tukiwa wawili.
Unajua hizo mistari ni za old syllabus tuliacha form 1.
Kwa sababu wewe ni senior Matianyu unakatiwa na nini power so?
I'm officially engaged to the prince, Crotus Sabong.
Kwani Crotus ni nani?
Crotus ndo mdosi wake.
Kumbe unataka kupendwa serikali Kukusaidia naweza kusaidia. Lakini kama unafikiria unalala pale kwangu, hiyo sahau. Wewe kulala pale ni kama Trump kucheza Saudi dance.
Sawa, nitarudi with a bang. Hiyo usingizi yako ndio tulipia rent. Kwani umekuwa mtoto?
So Leones ndo akaenda kuhunt.
My name is Janet. It's either utawezana na mimi ama urudi pale umetoka. She's the best housemate around.
Hatukusema tunahitaji mashini ya kusiaga unga and a sweatshop.
I'm the only one who can start your madness. Ukweli. You are not the best maid.
When you meet a Luo carrying his briefcase, don't ask him whether he's going to work. Those don't go to work. We attend to professional commitments.
Gangster main rule: avoid eye contact with your fans. Mutazoeana.
Mtu ako na homa lakini kusiniza na sneeze unashindwa hii ni homa ama ni nini? Unasikia
December babes, haki si mnatusumbua. Hati yo sijui calm down is my birthday. Sijui all people were born the same but legends were born in December. Mbona mnajisikianga hivyo ama mnaonanga mkikaa kale kamkate ka mwisho?
Nani?
Shetani machana yeye.
Shetani mugani? Tebu tuonyeshe shetani mugani?
Johnny.
Oh, kametokwa ho.
Slay Queen ni watu wezi simama na mguu zao zikiwa pamoja.
Simshaona vile yeye jikunja hapa. Kakuchukulia kapasi tu kadogo kazuri.
Like, are we together?
Yes.
So, like, you know, when he said that he's not ready
together like that.
Askari mwenye aliingia, nadhani hajawahi patana na maiti ikiwa serious. Enda kuleta kichwa.
The Morans continued their fairy tale run with a dramatic 82-76 overtime win against Tunisia on Wednesday night.
Niligonga jeneza, wakaachilia kwa rami paragachani karuka nene wakasema shaitani. Polisi mbio, mimi mbio, raia mbio kuondoka. Nisikia mama moja ameuliza iko nini? Nikamwambia wao uone maiti imeamuka.
The Wicked Edition, every Friday from 7:30 p.m. only on NTV.
Jina la Yesu litafika everywhere. Tuna dansi ya Yesu. Hakuna kama Yesu.
Nasikia ulidai. Nasikia Amina ulidai. Uko juu sana. Nasikia ulijidai. When you lucky utaitwa Foma Sahi. Wewe ni fala, ono mesleki. Mimi mjanja, wewe ni rapa feki.
pictures were brought to you courtesy of FIBA. Moving on, after the East African Derby at the 2019 Africa Cup of Nations, neighbors Kenya and Tanzania are set to face off again, this time in the qualifiers for the 2020 African Nations Championship. Vidyarthi Kiru brings us up to speed on the Harambee Stars preparations for the CHAN event as the national football team drops 2 places to 107th in the latest FIFA rankings.
It will be a battle of the stars when Harambee Stars and Taifa Stars face off on Sunday in the first leg of the first round of the 2020 African Nations Championships qualifier.
I'm confident and I'm waiting for good news from my playoff.
When the two sides are played at AFCON 2019, Harambee Stars are composed of mainly players who ply their trade abroad, staged a great comeback to beat Tanzania 3-2 with Japan-based Michael Olunga, the 2-goal hero.
If we don't have experience, we can compensate with a team spirit.
Kenya has never made an appearance at CHAN, which is a continental tournament for players who play in their respective local leagues in 6 editions.
It's not easy to be qualified. You never qualified the team before. That means we have players today without experience at this level.
Meanwhile, long-serving Mathare United coach Francis Kimanzi has given his reasons for resigning from his position to concentrate on his duties at the national team. Salim Ali will be the Mathare United coach.
Because of the environment, of the projection that I had before with the players, especially the young ones. But in life, I said earlier that you have to make a decision sometimes that is a hard decision.
Harambee Stars will depart for Dar Friday afternoon. The foreign-based Harambee Stars players did their part against Tanzania, and now it is on the local-based players to defend Kenya's pride and honor. Vidyarthi Kiru, NTV, at the Kasarani Stadium.
And the National Olympic Committee of Kenya NOC is aiming to undo the mistakes of the past as Kenya prepares for the Tokyo Olympics, which starts in exactly 1 year's time. On Wednesday, the road to Tokyo was launched, in which the government promised that allowances will be paid on time and resources will be used prudently. Sean Kadavilis reports.
9, 8. With 1 year to the Tokyo 2020 Olympics, Kenya's preparations have begun in earnest. During the last Olympics in Rio 2016, Kenyans had reason to dance as Team Kenya bagged 6 gold, 6 silver and 1 bronze medal, the best performance at an Olympics. Despite the stellar on-track performance, Kenya's sports administrators won a gold medal for their mess that saw kit get stolen and funds be misappropriated. NOC has since undergone a makeover, with legendary athlete Paul Tergat taking the reins of power, and Tokyo 2020 will be his first show of ability.
As a National Olympic Committee, we have no doubt about our readiness to represent Team Kenya to this novel duty for our nation.
NOC Deputy President Waithaka Kioni, who's also the Kenya Volleyball Federation President, is the man in the hot seat after being named the Team Kenya chef de mission for the Tokyo 2020 Summer Games.
We have been working hard the last 2 or so years to correct and to redeem the image of NOC. I think we're on the right track. And all of us have agreed to be guided by the principles of good governance.
Kurume City in Fukuoka Prefecture will host Kenya's pre-Olympic Games camp following an agreement between NOC and the Tokyo Local Organizing Committee.
Yes, the Kurume City are ready to invite all Kenyan delegation, Kenyan sports athletes to train for pre-camp before starting to come to the Tokyo.
Now, with 1 year to go, eyes are now on the respective federations to make sure that sportsmen and women meet qualifying standards for the Games.
So it is 1 year, an important milestone for Kenya as they prepare for Tokyo 2020, and hopefully a chance for the administrators in particular to reverse the scourges that blighted Rio 2016. Sean Carter-Villas, NTV in Nairobi.
And Kisii County's Justa Komesa was victorious in the women's 10,000 meters as curtains came down on the Safaricom National Deaf Track and Field Championships held at the Kasarani Stadium. Komesa clocked 42 minutes, 18.8 seconds ahead of Laureen Ngoga from Kakamega and Grancy Jetichi from Nakuru. Following his 5,000 meters win on Wednesday, Martin Ngache once again crossed the line first in the men's 10,000 meters race. Rosalida Nater triumphed in the women's 3,000 meter steeplechase ahead of Gentrix Dindi and Anne Wangeshi. The Deaf Athletics Association of Kenya used the trials to select a team that will represent the country at the first ever Africa Deaf Athletics Championship to be held in Kenya in September. And teenage striker Angel Gomez scored the winner 10 minutes from time as Manchester United beat English Premier League rivals Tottenham Hotspur 2-1 in an international Champions Cup friendly in Shanghai. The goal completed a remarkable sequence of goals during United's 4-match tour of Australia and Asia, with all 9 either scored or assisted by a player who has been...
Shake your bum bum, bum bum. Shake your bum 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 bum. Giddy 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 go down. Giddy 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 go down. Giddy 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 giddy.
Basi hapa ndipo na ndipo hapa. Kwa majina wananiita Trevor NTV mambo yote.
Second quarter, and the third quarter and fourth quarter goes on shortly. And the winner will meet the winner between Angola and DRC. That is the other semi-final also that will take part later this night. That's all from our sporting desk. Have a lovely night. My name is Brian Otual. Back to you, Mark and Smriti.
All right, Brian, thanks to you. And that's where we leave it on NTV tonight. I'm Smriti Vidyarthi. Thanks to David Agondoa, who's been our sign language interpreter tonight.
And thanks to the team that made this possible. Actually, people mentioned the graphic earlier. That is thanks to Job Soy and Eric Jacinta, who's behind the camera. There's a lot that goes on to make this happen. Thank you for watching. Good night.